What if the biggest lie about living to 100 is the one most people over 65 believe right now? That longevity is mostly luck, genetics, something you either get or you don't. What if the real story is far less comforting and far more empowering? Because the truth is this: the habits that decide whether you reach 100 did not suddenly appear in old age. They were set in motion decades ago, and most people don't realize what they missed until the clock is already loud. Here's the mystery. Every year, millions of Americans reach their 70s believing they've done enough for their health. They followed basic advice, they avoided obvious risks, and yet, their bodies still decline faster than expected. Why do some people stay sharp, mobile, and independent into their 90s, while others struggle in their early 70s? The clues are everywhere, but the full answer is rarely explained. To find it, we have to follow a strict cause and effect timeline. Let's start at the origins of the issue in early adulthood. In your 20s and 30s, the body is forgiving. Poor sleep, stress, skip movement, processed food. The damage is subtle. American longitudinal studies show that inflammation markers, insulin resistance, and muscle loss begin much earlier than people feel them. The cause looks harmless, the effect stays hidden. Here's what most people miss. Longevity is not built by extreme actions. It's built by boring, repeated signals sent to the body every day. When those signals are weak or inconsistent early in life, the body adapts downward. At this stage, people think they're fine. That belief becomes dangerous later. Now we move into the changes that start quietly in the 40s. This is where the first real shift happens. Hormonal changes alter muscle maintenance. Recovery slows. Blood vessels lose elasticity. According to American Heart Association data, arterial stiffness increases significantly after 40, even in people without diagnosed disease. The cause is cumulative. Years of stress, poor sleep, and inactivity add up. The effect is subtle fatigue, slight weight gain, less resilience, but here's the twist. These changes don't feel urgent, so people respond with surface fixes. Diet trends, supplements, occasional exercise bursts. What's missing is consistency. By the time people reach their 50s and 60s, the body has already chosen its trajectory. Now comes the shift after 70 that most people ignore. After 70, the body becomes brutally honest. It no longer hides inefficiencies. Systems that were barely coping start to fail. Muscle loss accelerates. Balance declines. Immune response weakens. American aging research shows that after 70, functional decline becomes the strongest predictor of mortality, not disease alone. How well you move, recover, and adapt matters more than lab numbers. This is where the longevity secrets begin to separate survivors from strugglers. The first secret is daily movement with purpose. Not exercise for appearance, movement for survival. Centenarian studies consistently show that people who live longest move often, gently, and naturally throughout the day. The second secret is muscle preservation. Strong legs and core are linked to longer life. Muscle is not cosmetic, it is metabolic protection. The third secret is sleep protection. Poor sleep after 70 is strongly associated with cognitive decline and cardiovascular risk. Yet many seniors normalize broken sleep instead of defending it. But we're not revealing everything yet. Now we reach the breaking point, where the problem becomes visible. This is often triggered by an event, a fall, an illness, a hospitalization. Research shows that older adults can lose years of functional capacity after a single major disruption. The cause is loss of reserve. The effect is sudden decline. This is where the difference between people who reach 100 and those who don't becomes undeniable. Those who thrive had built buffers, strength, balance, social ties, mental flexibility. They fall, but they recover. They get sick, but they rebound. Those who didn't build those buffers experience cascading loss. The fallout affects everything. Health fallout appears as frailty, chronic pain, and reduced immunity. Money fallout shows up in medical costs, assisted living, and loss of independence. Lifestyle fallout is quieter but deeper. Shrinking worlds, less joy, less purpose. American surveys show that social isolation after 70 increases mortality risk by levels comparable to smoking. Longevity is not just biological, it is relational. So what do seniors try to fix this? They rely on failed fixes. One failed fix is chasing medical interventions without lifestyle change. Pills cannot replace movement, sleep, and connection. Another failed fix is avoiding challenge. Many seniors think rest equals safety. In reality, avoidance accelerates decline. A third failed fix is thinking it's too late. This belief has been proven wrong repeatedly. Studies show adults in their 70s and 80s can still improve strength, cognition, and metabolic health. Now let's reveal the deeper pattern. The people who live to 100 do not avoid stress. They manage it. They do not eliminate discomfort. They engage with it carefully. They do not chase happiness. They cultivate meaning. This leads us to the remaining longevity secrets. Secret 4 is stress recovery. Not eliminating stress, but shortening recovery time. Secret 5 is protein intake. Older adults need more protein, not less, to preserve muscle. Secret 6 is balance training. Balance predicts independence better than many medical tests. Secret 7 is curiosity. Lifelong learning is linked to cognitive resilience. Secret 8 is social contribution. Feeling needed extends life. Secret 9 is light exposure. Daylight regulates sleep and hormones. Secret 10 is routine. Predictable rhythms calm the nervous system. Secret 11 is walking speed. Faster gait equals longer life. Secret 12 is grip strength. It reflects total body health. Secret 13 is hydration. Dehydration mimics aging symptoms. Secret 14 is oral health. Gum disease is linked to heart disease and dementia. Secret 15 is posture. Poor posture affects breathing and circulation. Secret 16 is purpose. Purpose reduces mortality risk. Secret 17 is adaptability. Mental flexibility protects the brain. Secret 18 is consistency. Small actions done daily beat dramatic efforts done rarely. Now let's bring this to today. American health data shows that people over 60 who maintain strength, movement, and connection reduce mortality risk dramatically compared to sedentary peers. So, what can you do right now? Here are 3 direct actions people over 60 can apply today. First, protect muscle like it's medicine. Strength train safely at least twice a week. Second, design your day to move often. Short walks, standing breaks, light chores. Motion is life. Third, invest in connection. Waiting for symptoms before changing habits drastically reduces your odds of reaching advanced age with independence. And here is the open thought to carry forward. If the habits that create a healthy 100-year life are already available to you, what excuse is left for delaying them one more year? If this helps you see aging differently, do like, leave a comment, and share this with someone who still thinks longevity is out of their control. Subscribe now for the next chapter, where we break down the one habit that predicts lifespan better than genetics.